Debt comes in all forms. Today, we see the excessive levels of debt that individuals have taken, corporations have taken, and governments as well. On all levels, we see the expansion of debt, and each one of them will collapse. It is only a matter of time. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today I have a quick video to talk about debt. This is an expansion that nobody ever predicted. Nobody thought that on all levels we would ever see this much debt, but here we are. I wanted to begin by taking a look at this article. CMHC says Canadian debt levels hit record highs at the end of last year. Now, while we're looking at this based on Canada, it's even worse in Australia. We look at the same basic issue going on in the United States and many places around the world. We are seeing individuals at the highest levels of debt they have ever been in. Canadian household debt reached a record high at the end of last year, even as mortgage activity slowed. So we have seen the slowdown in real estate going on a global level for the most part. Depends what area, of course, but it didn't mean that people didn't push themselves to the absolute edge. The debt to income ratio of Canadians hit a record high 178.5%. Think about that for a second. The debt to income ratio 178.5%. That is beyond excessive, and this is a catastrophe waiting to happen. Mortgage rates are excessively cheap in Canada right now. I just saw a 3.39 mortgage rate. We're looking at something that is pushing people to borrow lots of money. And of course they do. People will take as much money as they possibly can. The ratio increased as average monthly required payments rose 4.5% compared with a year earlier, while disposable income rose only 2.5%. Debt levels rose as average balances for credit cards and lines of credit grew at a faster pace than in 2017. They suggest that the delinquency rates are down just below that, and it's interesting because people are using the equity in their home to make sure that everything gets paid. So they don't have a problem with that. That's why delinquency rates are very, very low. As long as real estate continues to go up forever, they won't have a problem. But of course, everything must come to an end. If we take a look at the opposite end of the spectrum, not the average individual, but the absolute highest of the high, and we see that the celebrity surgeon went all in on a $180 million Bel Air mansion. Then came the high-end housing glut. I think I might have shown this before on the channel. I know that I have seen this home. You could see all the pictures in here. I read the story of this. Basically, this individual thought that he would build something nice, and then it turned into one thing more than the other, and it started to build up, and suddenly he's in for, I think it was $70 million on this property. Listing it, I think it was going to go for $500 million, then it was $250, then it came on the market at $180. That's not selling. It's been there for a year. It's going to stay there for a lot longer because you don't have too many buyers. At the same time, there's already shown this desperation, and the offers, I'm sure, are nowhere near that $180 million mark. This just shows you that what we have had, the euphoria surrounding real estate, isn't what it used to be, and that goes for all different levels of the market. Then we look at this, a record 7 million Americans have stopped paying their car loans, and even economists are surprised. You probably know about this. There have been some articles trying to suggest that this is nothing, don't worry, they're going to pay it back, everything is fine, but it just tells you that people are in excessive debt. That's all I'm really trying to get to. I hope I made myself clear. When you look at the amount of debt, it doesn't really do anything in itself. But I always stress the importance of understanding what derivatives are. Derivatives are everything today because as individuals become delinquent, that's going to set off the triggers in all of these derivative so-called investments, and it will create a big disaster. I'm going to end the video there. If you found it informative, please give me a thumbs up. When you give me a like on this video, you're supporting me, supporting this channel, so I do appreciate that very much. If you want the financial education you were not taught in school, these two books have everything you need from top to bottom, A to Z. You can get all the details at the link in the description. If you want the audiobook, that's available at themoneygps.com. If you want to see what's happening with all of the layoffs, all of the store closures, and everything in between, you got to watch this video. Click on it and I will see you there.